412-440-7233. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the RoundTable, hiphopsuccess.tv, with your hosts, Master Fi, Mr. Coach Tony Brace, and Bambino Brown. Webisode number 6. In today's webisode and topic, we're going to be talking about the new documentary that was released on Netflix as well as Vimeo, What the Health. And today, actually the past couple of months, because the movie was actually released in March of this year, 2017. And there's been a lot of talk on all the topics that the documentary addresses. It goes from how the food industry is so corrupt, and the fact that they hide certain vital information with the meat that we eat, all the processed food that we eat, and how it's actually very bad for our bodies. And then they also uncover that the World Health Organization actually classifies any kind of red meat as a group 1 carcinogen, which means it's in the categories of smoking, tobacco, asbestos, and actually plutonium, which I was kind of like, whoa, I mean, that's kind of crazy, especially when we're dealing with food that we eat, most of us, on a daily basis. And for the most part, a lot of the backlash or resistance that people are getting from the film is more so meat eaters who say that you need protein. It's okay. There's creatine in the meat, but there's protein. And the DVD actually worked and pled the case that you can get protein from plants. You can get creatine and all kind of other vital nutrients without a meat-based diet. And then they went into how it promotes diabetes, which I thought it was only sugar-based, but they started talking about how meat actually promotes diabetes as well, which was new information to me. I'm not some doctor, but that's enough about me in the intro. But Bam, what did you think about it?
Well, to add on to what you said about diabetes, what about the fact that they said that sugar is not as much related to diabetes as we think? And from my understanding, I thought it was all sugar-based. Diabetes was from having too much sugar. Was that your understanding of diabetes?
I thought it was majority, if you take in too much sugar, that is, besides it being hereditary, whether it was type 1
right.
or 2, I didn't really think that meat actually contributed to, getting diabetes. So that was kind of new information to me,
Yeah, what struck me from watching the documentary, there's been a lot of documentaries. I watched Sicko, that was Michael Moore's documentary, which talked about pharmaceuticals and how they kind of run the lobbyists, through funding lobbyists and whatnot. So they just want people to take certain medications, not really to help their situation, but to sell more product. And when he showed the actual companies paying for lobbyists to give information that went against health codes and whatnot, started opening me up to watching different documentaries based on health. When you see the way that chickens are pumped up with hormones, you see the way cows are being raised up north in California, how they're boxing chickens in on top of each other, and they got feces falling on each other, and it's just not a healthy environment. And you are what you eat, basically. The way that pig farms are being regulated, they showed that, and What the Health, that was another alarming fact for me, that I was like, man, they're feeding these pigs other dead pigs, and then they're fertilizing the land with the pig feces and other dead pigs. And the neighbors of the pig farms were saying how they can smell the awful smells that they're in their homes, and they're dumping them in the rivers, and it's contaminating the water in the areas of these pig farms. And I think with big business, when you allow big business to dictate the way that the food is being manufactured, I think that's the key problem. I think with America, with this whole holier than thou attitude that America has, with, the way they, with religion and the things that they put at the top of of their priority list, I think the regulations on food, air, water, things like that should be more heavily regulated. When you're talking about sending people to jail for crack cocaine, which, you know, you get an ounce of crack and you get 10 years, just doesn't make sense when these pharmaceutical companies are selling billions of dollars of products that are harmful to people. And because they're able to pay off a few lobbyists, it's okay. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir and everybody's saying, oh, you just want to fix the world. Okay, I can't fix the world. None of us can. But what we can fix as a whole is things like food regulation. Like, this is what we feed our kids. This is the planet where we live. And they say, don't shit where you sleep. And I feel like we're shitting where we sleep, you know, and nobody wants to really keep it 100 when we're talking about that. And I'm not some, you know, vegan person that's just been eating healthy my whole life. I like a steak. I like a chicken sandwich. I'm the first person that's a fatty. I love to eat ice cream, the whole nine. But when it becomes cancer related, when you're seeing the American Cancer Society or American Cancer Association funded by companies like Yoplait yogurt, which are dairy products that they know contribute to heart conditions, you know there's an agenda there. And a documentary like What the Health is putting these things on blast. And it's not somebody just talking about it. He's actually going to these societies and talking to real people. If you saw the head of the CEO, rather, of the American Diabetes Association, he almost cut off the interview when they started discussing health and how to eat. Oh, I'm not going to have that conversation right now. If that's what you came to talk to me about, we're shutting this down right now. I'm not approved to talk about that because basically my sponsors will pull out if I start. How can you not discuss health and diet? And you're the head of the American Diabetes Association. So, you know, my final statement, I'm just going to say, when it comes to the ocean pollution, when it comes to food regulation, I think these are the things that people should get serious fines for. You should be scared to pollute the ocean. You should be scared to put hormones in chickens that will harm people because you can catch a case that could be murder related or, you know, manslaughter type charges for things like that. And I just think we prioritize the wrong things in this country. And this is something that we should prioritize, which is our own health and our kids and the future of this civilization.
What about you, Coach? I know you peeped it yesterday. What you take from it?
I mean, I echo some of the things that you and Bam just laid out for the people. You know, to Bam's point, I'm not going to act like I'm a vegan or a vegetarian. However, I am aware of what I put into my body. Okay. And I do subscribe to the philosophy that the food is in the medicine. Because before the industrial age, the modern times, you know, you look at different societies all over the world and you see that a lot of people survived off a plant-based diet, right? Or a fish diet. If you look at the people that come from the Mediterranean areas, North Africa, you know, South Europe in terms of France, Sicily, all these different places. If you look at their statistics in terms with dealing with diabetes and these other diseases, they don't have to deal with that. And of course, we're Americans. I love America. Don't want to live anywhere else. But it's also time to hold America to a higher standard in terms of being honest, in terms of integrity. All they have to do is just label things. So, you know, I don't like the fact that they won't label things and let the people know. You know, it's like they feel that the people were stupid. You're going to get hoodwinked and, you know, profits will proceed. So those are my thoughts on that.
They made a good point about how they say the cigarettes and any sort of tobacco, they're required to say that this product can cause cancer, and all those labels should be put on meat. And I mean, if it's in the same group, same group as tobacco for Group 1 carcinogens, I mean, you'd figure the labels would be placed across all meat products as well. And then they went into dairy too, which was, I was like, man, I like my eggs, man.
I know that hurt me.
I like my eggs, man.
But it causes mucus, right?
Right. Dr. Sebi talked a lot about that too.
Oh, speaking of Dr. Sebi, well, go ahead. Let's go back. Finish your point.
Yeah, but you know, when they were talking about the cheese, how cheese actually has some sort of, I don't know if it's a chemical or a hormone that excites some sort of receptors in the brain that I think it was heroin that
Mhm.
it excites the same receptors, which makes you want to. It's like almost like sugar. When you eat it, you just want it and want it and you want more. It's the same thing with cheese. I've never really been a huge guy on cheese. I know people that'll eat a whole block of cheese. I've never really been like that. I know
Yeah.
that we might have some people in the audience or even you guys that do that. I mean, it was never really a big thing for me. You guys big on dairy? Well, not as much. Or growing up with you guys on
I
dairy?
mean, I don't mind the taste of dairy. However, I'm lactose intolerant, and many of us that come from that African DNA, if you will, are lactose intolerant.
I
It,
mean,
it, it doesn't fit well for our bodies, and that's why I subscribe to, yes, the plant-based diet is good, right? What's the closest animal on Earth in terms of genetics that's close to us? They say the gorillas are the monkeys, right? And when I say close to us, I'm not talking about in the context of black people.
yeah.
For the people
Human
that are
beings.
prejudiced out there,
Yeah.
human beings, okay?
Right.
So these
And what do
animals,
they
if
eat?
you will, they eat plants, fruits, and vegetables. And look how strong they are.
Yeah.
Look at the rhinoceros and the elephants. All they do is eat vegetables or eat the greens, if you will. So definitely you can get protein from those plants.
Plant-based.
Definitely you're getting, the energy that's, photosynthesis from the sunlight and all that sort of stuff that breaks. Did we lose Bim?
No, I'm
Yeah,
here.
we all back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but go ahead and keep making your point, Coach. My fault.
Oh, so I mean, I was just wrapping up my point about correlating these big animals that eat hay or grass or whatever the case may be, and they weigh tons, if you will. So we know if it's good for them, then it's good for us. And we're like to consume the feel good stuff, meaning that if it has a good taste, it's an addictive taste, we'll go ahead and eat it. And let's just keep it 100, man. Last time I went to the doctor, I don't think that I'm overweight, but the doctor claimed that I'm overweight. Okay. But when I walk outside my door, I do see a lot of overweight Americans, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very overweight though, and you're not overweight in the sense where it's like a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You see people in America that are just
super obese. Yes.
And yeah, I mean, we have $1 hamburgers on TV. When you turn on TV, you can get 2 of them for $1. I mean, what do you think that meat is made out of? I mean, let's just break it down to simple terms. And back to your point about animals having a plant-based diet. Dr. Sabi talking about how plant-based diets heal. He's healed cancer patients. He mysteriously wound up dead. Given his medical agenda and diet programs, they say it's a conspiracy that he was taken out. And when you take things to a basic observation, how many animals drink another animal's milk?
Right, they made that case too.
How many did they in What the Health?
Oh yeah, they said there is no real. I don't even know how we got started, obviously programming through us, but drinking a cow's milk. They were like, if that's the case, why don't we drink giraffe's milk?
Or whatever. Who's the first person that tried cow's milk and said, this is delicious? Then they went and tested and said, it actually has a lot of calcium in it.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, I think people clown me. Some of my dear friends, would say things like, okay, you want to go eat a cow's enzymes, and go ahead. I'm going to drink this almond milk. And over time, I started trying almond milk with cereal or whatever the case may be, and it doesn't taste much different. And I just thought, this is probably a smarter look. Not saying that I'm just not drinking milk at all, because actually I love milk with some cookies or, but when you think about it in simple terms, do I want to drink another animal's milk? That doesn't seem like the smartest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Almond, which is, comes from the earth. Okay, that sounds like a better alternative. Even cashew milk or coconut milk is more natural. But I think, fellas, what trips me out about this documentary is people saying it's a conspiracy who haven't watched it. And I'm not saying believe everything that you see, but there are facts in here that you can research and see on websites, or you see him actually talking to the director of the Association of Diabetes. You actually see him talking to the woman at the hospital, and she says, well, we can't take your interview, sir, because my boss said that these surgeries make money for the hospital, and your agenda may stop people from getting these surgeries. And he said, well, my agenda could help people from not needing these surgeries. And
Preventative care.
That takes care. Preventive care. No, that takes money out of the hospital. And so we can't even entertain that. And when you put business over health, how is that not illegal in this country to me? You know,
fortunately, it's the American way, though. We know that we can't be crony capitalism.
Crony, that's right.
But how stupid are we as a people for allowing that? I would say like the whole BP thing. You know, BP dumps a bunch of stuff in the ocean. They say it's an accident. They pay the city a bunch of money or whoever they paid. They're not helping the gentleman, Boyan Slate, who created boats that take 7 million tons of plastic out of the ocean. I think BP should be forced to help somebody like that and make it part of their agenda. We're still pumping crude out of the earth, which clearly isn't a good thing for the earth because the earth is fighting back in certain ways. You see in emissions, you see in global warming, but we're still pumping gas and not using electric cars. I think they should be held accountable to fund people like the young dude who came up with ways to clean the ocean. But we're back using BP gas. We don't hold these companies accountable for anything as a people. And I think if we stop eating a certain product for a week, just 1 week, as an entire people, or half of us, or just say, you know, the West Coast said we're not doing dairy for a week until they get proper regulations for our kids on cheese and dairy and whatnot. Do you think that would change things?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I was talking to my girlfriend about it yesterday, and, you know, even her as a physician, and you even notice when you talk to people, like, people are very sensitive about their diets, man. You start talking about their food, man, they start sweating. They got their guard up. They start yelling. You know, me, no meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, They really get mad, you know. And what's funny is, like, there's so much resistance, yet, you know, you're literally giving them information that could save their life, you know, and people are still just real.
Well, some people that hit me back have been vegans for many years, you know, a decade or more. And they're saying, oh, you watch a documentary and now you're holier than thou and you're some vegan guy. I'm not a vegan guy. I try to watch what goes in my body a lot more lately, the latter part of my life and currently, because it's obvious when you see chickens that are swole up, that look like, you know, they just don't look normal. I mean, you don't see buff chickens walking around a farm, yet we're eating chickens that are huge. And it's just common sense to me, man. It's not like something that's even worth arguing about. They say, well, chicken is healthier than beef. Okay, that may be true, but not if it's pumped up with a bunch of hormones. And then they say, eat fish. Okay, well, these fish farms are known to have fish that are contaminated with lots of mercury. I went to the beach a couple weeks ago. You know, I'm always at the beach. On the pier, I'm walking on the pier with my girl, and we see a sign that says 10 fish species that are contaminated. Basically, if you catch them off the pier, they're contaminated. We're letting you know right now. This is right at Manhattan Beach in LA.
Now, hold that thought. Something just popped into my mind, a thought. Isn't it interesting when a man or a woman that's going out to fish, right?
Right.
They're not paying for the fish. Beware. Don't fish there. But if you go...
Coach, you're going in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
What I was saying is, isn't it interesting that if you go to the beach and you fish and get fish for free, so to speak, they're giving you signs, right? Not to eat the fish. But if you go to the grocery store, they won't do that because profits. So that's my point. You know, when a man's trying to catch his fish for free, it's, hey, beware, stay away. It's contaminated. But if I go to Whole Foods or Albertsons,
fine to eat the mercury there.
Yeah.
None of that signage. So I just found that interesting as you were just making that, sharing that story.
And that could very well be the case, or it could just, I mean, I don't think that they could put a sign without it being a fact. I'm sure a few scientists have pulled the fish out and came to the American Health Society and said, hey, I just caught a grouper and look how much mercury it has in it. I couldn't feed this to my kid. And they're like, oh, really? Where did that come from? They know where it's polluted water. We know where it's coming from.
Right. But they want to be responsible when it's free, and they don't want to be responsible when you have to pay. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Shout out to the audience, Super Dave, Duran, chiming in for joining the roundtable. Call in at 412-440-7233. Let us know what you guys thought about the documentary, What the Health, whether you agree with it, whether you don't, and if you enjoyed it, you hated it, it's some BS. Call in, let us know what you think. Also, in about 2 minutes, I'll go ahead and post the first question for you guys, for the audience, so that you can get in on the conversation as well. So again, call in 412-440-7233. And then,
yeah, I find it interesting that you guys had shared some information that we were going to have this conversation. And then I did see people right away come at you guys like, it's a propaganda piece. Okay, cool. Those are the people we want to call in. Could you please call in for those people that think it's a propaganda piece? And maybe it is, okay? I don't know. But common sense tells me that we're out of bounds.
We got a caller coming in. Hold on.
Call. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Welcome. HipHopSuccess.tv. Thanks for calling in. State your name and where you at.
What up?
Oh, state your name again. Hey, what's going on, man? What you think about the documentary?
I'm loving it so far, man. Just tuning in. I'm driving on the highway.
Yeah, did you agree with the information they were given on the documentary, or did you think it was like propaganda?
I feel everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to call, step it up, man. Y'all doing a good job.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for the shout out, man. I appreciate it. Calling from California, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Stay tuned, man.
That's what's up.
I missed it. I could barely hear what he said.
I think he said he was driving in his car.
He was driving.
That's dope, though. Somebody's driving in the car.
Giving us a shout out. He said he loved what we're doing.
Oh, bet. Hey, shout out to everybody listening, even if you're not calling in or commenting here in the post, but we're looking for more people to comment and give your input, because when I made my initial post, you guys saw that chain went on for a long time. A lot of people stating that they are changing their diet and switching over to a more plant-based diet, and it's a slow transition. I had some veggie tacos the other day. I couldn't really tell the difference between turkey, so I said, chicken, let me start trying these different alternatives. I'm not somebody who wants to say, I'm totally down in meat. I just think there needs to be regulations to make sure that the animals are being raised properly, they're in good health, and that is, better regulations on the food, because you are what you eat, man.
I feel it, man. I feel it. Yeah, be sure to call in. Anybody that's having, following a paleo diet, mostly meat diet, a balanced diet, and are kind of transitioning one way or the other, please call in. We want to know how your diets are working out for you. Are you seeing health benefits, or are you having issues? And a lot of the information they were saying in the documentary was resonating with you. Please call in. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we want to hear from the personal trainers, the doctors, the bodybuilders, the athletes, the people that just the vegans, people that just culturally love their food. And they're like, man, screw that documentary. I ain't trying to hear that. Oh, yeah. We want to hear some opposing views.
All right, I'm posing the first question.
So I think what's another problem is the whole GMO thing. Where a lot of products say non-GMO, the genetically manufactured,
modified.
I'm sorry.
Genetically modified?
Genetically modified.
Mm-hmm.
They say most fruits, even watermelon, different fruits like that, don't have seeds anymore because of what they're doing with the seeds and whatnot. And, I just wondered how that affects us over time, or how that affects our bodies. A lot of people take pride in the non-GMO on the products, like, of course, for your kid, I'm sure nobody wants to give their kids GMO products anymore. How do you guys feel about that? And should GMO products I think they should have to put that label on there more so than non-GMO. You know what I mean? Like, you should know it's genetically modified more so than non-genetically modified.
We got a comment. We got a comment, and got Brandon Johnson. Shout out to the Brain Trust. He said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been an advocate for plant-based diets from way back. Read his book on how to eat to live.
I want to read that book. I always heard a lot about that book, Eat to Live. I mean, it only makes sense, fellas. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. We got another caller calling in.
Hello.
Hopefully it's an opposing view.
Yes.
They love to text and talk, don't they?
Right. Where are all you text talkers at? Let's get it in face to face. Voice to voice.
Peace. HipHopSuccess.tv Roundtable. State your name and where you at.
Welcome.
This is Kashif from Norfolk.
Kashif, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Did you check out the documentary?
Yeah, I actually did, bro.
Okay, what you think about it? You agree, disagree, you hate it? What's up?
Honestly, man, for a long time, like, I've been doing my own research on, like, the plant-based diet and the benefits of eating meat versus plants and everything. I believe the documentary, it presented the facts, but it presented a way for shock and awe. You know what I mean? Like,
shock,
it wasn't fair.
Like shock value. That's what it was more for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, the premise was valid. You know what I mean? Like you said, eat dairy is not good for you. Why would you drink milk from another animal? That's just retarded. You know what I mean? Like, no other species drinks milk after the baby is grown. So why are we still drinking milk as adult people? It makes no sense. Now, like, those facts are just common sense, but the way the documentary was presented was just for shock and awe. And I understand that's how you got to do it to get across to people, but you know what I mean? It causes too much reaction instead of people who really want to analyze their diet and think about it. Like, people just shouting to, you know what I mean? Like, I got to make this change. I got to do this. But it's not really a conscious, you know what I mean, thought of effort put into, like, what I'm eating, why I'm eating it, and, like, how does this food that I'm eating affect me? Like your boy said, the GMOs, like having natural products, you know what I mean? Like, me personally, I feel like there has to be a difference between a plant that's naturally grown with seeds and produces seeds, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And can reproduce itself, than another plant that's just been grown in the lab that can't reproduce itself. Like, if I'm a natural being, the things I put in my body should be natural. And for me to put anything artificial in my body goes against the laws of nature. You know what I mean? Like Hombo was saying, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said way back then, the plant-based diet is the best thing to do. And like, I know that myself, me personally, like, I started with not eating pork. And I noticed that when I don't eat pork, like, I don't have as much gas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have stomach cramps. You know what I mean? Like, and you're stuff like that.
Right, and you're more regular when you eat more plant-based foods. You're more regular.
You know what I mean? Simple stuff adds up. You know, that makes a difference to me. You know what I mean? So, but that's just my opinion, bro.
Hey, Kashif, man, that was a great point. Thank you for calling in, man.
Yo,
hey,
you hit the nail on the head, bro.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, man. Thank you for calling in.
And that's respectable.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love, man.
Yeah, that's definitely. Where was he from? Virginia, East Coast.
Yeah, shout out to Kashif. I went to school with him, Hampton University.
Shout out to
757 area.
You know, hold on. Shout out to the Roundtable people that call in. We got a highly intelligent community, man. You know, as I sit back and I watch other hip hop media platforms, I don't want to shit on nobody, but it's like the people that we call in, they highly educated. So shout out to all the callers. Please do continue to call in. I agree to his point that it was a shock piece, but in today's age where it's super noisy in terms of getting attention, you gotta shock, right?
Bro, I was shocked. That's what made me write a post. Whenever something hits my core, and I look at my Facebook page, like it's a lot of family and friends on there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when I want them, the people that I care about, to know something, I post it. And I'm raw with how I feel, and I don't watch anything and just say, oh, I need to talk about that. I mean, sometimes it's sports driven, but when something like this hits me, I feel like people need to open their third eye up and take a look at it. I'm not saying you have to believe everything that you see or hear, but at least watch it, and then you can go ahead and do your research and decide how you want to interpret everything in it. But a lot of it is factually based. And so you can't say it's a conspiracy when they're showing you facts like fish farming and the mercury levels in fish and whatnot. And, I'm glad it shocked people, because if it was too light in the ass, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Real talk. No, absolutely. I agree. And on that note, guess what? I'm going to swig some of my alkaline water.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and call in, y'all. 412-440-7233. We appreciate your comments, thoughts, and opinions. Let us know, man. You on that paleo diet? You on that meat diet? You on the plant-based? We want to hear how that's working out for you. Diana Saunders said, hey, hip-hop success guys, great work spreading healthy news through Facebook. Shout out to Diana. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And you guys, let's let the people know, Hip Hop Success and the Roundtable is for you, the people. We are not sponsored as of now. We're going to get sponsorship eventually, but we're just doing this because we want people to be up on positive information. We're giving this to you for free. This is your platform. If it's anything else you want to talk about that you want us to discuss on future roundtables, please give us some insight. We're also going to post this live not live. Once we film it live, we're going to post it up so you can still comment on this webisode. You can still write how you feel below, and we want to hear your feedback, and we want you to share this roundtable because we want the conversation to grow so it becomes contagious. We want to spread that mental success, baby, because it's not just about financial success. It's about mental success. It's about physical success, and health is wealth, man. If we're not here to talk about these things, then we're not here. And we want to spread the love. We want to spread the positive vibes. And we got merch that we got right here, as you can see. We got sweatshirts and hats. And when people ask you about hip hop success, just say, hey, I'm into hip hop, and I'm into positivity, and I'm into living life, and that's what we about, y'all. Anything else y'all want to put into that?
No, I mean, to add to that point is we are a brand that values greatness, if you will. That's why we say we are the blueprint to mental success. There's so many negative connotations that is pointed towards the hip hop culture, and that's primarily because of the music. But hip hop is more than music. Hip hop is life. So again, if you represent this hip hop success movement, you are mind rich. Okay.
Hello.
You are a person that is waking up, being disciplined, commitment every single day. The truth of the matter is most people don't want to eat healthy, guys, because it takes work, right? That's just the truth.
It is. It's like working out. It's like working out. It's not easy.
It's so easy to go get the dollar menu from whatever restaurant, right? And gobble that up. And I want to ask you guys, do you know any friends or family members, especially maybe some of the elders that have...
We got a caller coming in. We got a caller. Hold on.
Hello. Save that question, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
From
Flood.
Peace. HipHopSuccess.tv Roundtable. What's your name and where you at?
Flood, Norfolk, Virginia. What up?
What up to Mr. Duran Flood, founder of Fitness First in Norfolk, Virginia. Okay, we got 757 calling in, man. Hey, so, Flood, did you check out the documentary?
I did. I enjoyed it.
Okay, yeah, and let me tell you a little background on Flood. He runs a great personal training and fitness facility in Norfolk, Virginia. He definitely promotes on a daily basis, up to the minute, on my timeline, talk about what he's eating, plant based, no fats. I mean, not bad fats anyway. Very strict with his clientele, and I think he runs a great show. So I think he brings a lot of good value in terms of
Welcome,
information.
welcome, welcome.
So tell us
What's up,
about it.
Floyd?
What you think about it?
So, there's a couple of things that I didn't agree with, in just my experience as an athlete, as somebody who's, deal with people who deal with the weight and performance, issues, every day. And I deal with athletes as well. So one thing that I know for a fact, is the biggest problem with just going completely vegan is the complete protein. And what I mean by complete protein is it basically has all 8 essential amino acids. And amino acids is basically like the building blocks for protein and just pretty much everything that's made up in your body. So with the amino acids, each amino acid does something different. Especially for somebody who's trying to lose weight, or let's just say a laborer, somebody who works in construction. They'll need those amino acids so they can perform, so their muscles can stay hydrated, so their joints can stay lubricated and things like that. And the only places where you can get all 8 essential amino acids are in meat products, eggs, chicken, even beef. But I don't eat beef. And vegans know this. And the problem that comes along, or the conflict is, especially vegan athletes, they know that they need those amino acids to perform at a high level. So what they wind up doing is pretty much going against the grain and going out and getting a supplement that's a vegan-based supplement. But the problem with that is it's processed food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anytime you get any type of supplementation, you're dealing with processed food. So that's my biggest hiccup with, going strictly plant-based, because those amino acids are so important, and each amino acid does something different from your body. If somebody who wants to promote, being lean and stuff like that, you absolutely need those things. If you work hard day in and day out, whether you're a blue collar laborer or an athlete, you need those branched chain amino acids or essential amino acids to recover. And so that's the biggest thing. And you know how I eat. And it's just, I just think balance is really, really important. If you can stay away from the bad fat, if you can stay away from the processed food, I eat meat. I don't eat it a lot, but I understand the importance of amino acids and what they do to my body. So, I'm torn there. 75% of the stuff that I put in my body is definitely plant-based. But again, it's just that one instance that really, really I struggle with, because, I'm a student of the game, man.
Oh man, and I see that, and I see the results that you get from your clientele too, with whatever the regimen you're giving them. I see the transformations, the clientele's growing. So I know you got things popping down there. You know exactly what you're doing, man. Hey, Flood, we appreciate you calling in the Hip Hop Success Roundtable. Oh, hold on. What's up?
Before you let him go, what's his name again?
Flood, Deron Flood.
Flood. I got a question. We're not totally going against meat because none of us here are completely vegan, right?
Right.
I eat meat sometimes. How do you feel about the way, animals are regulated, and can that affect the amino acid intake, being that these animals are pumped with certain hormones that aren't good for our bodies? The way they're pumping chickens, the way they're raising cows.
Absolutely.
How do we find that balance in the regulations?
So I'm totally tracking you. There's a place here, and I hate to promo other people's stuff, and I just don't feel like it's appropriate. But there's a place here that I go to pretty much religiously. It's called Cold Press, and they serve plant-based stuff, and the meat that they sell is all like cage-free. All of the things that you don't want in your foods, whether it's the antibiotics or the hormones. Free roaming, they make sure that the diet that those animals eat are appropriate for the animals. They don't feed corn to to cows. You know what I mean? They feed grass and things like that. So, because any animal on the planet, any human on the planet, if you eat something that isn't necessarily good for your body, it shapes your DNA. Right. So, like you were saying, well, piggybacking off of what you were saying, if you completely change the diet of a human, the DNA is going to change. So, you know, we're built to be lean and strong, you know, creatures that roam the earth. If you eat crap for the rest of your generations, that will definitely change our body count. So I'm tracking you. I'm definitely tracking you, and I agree with you 120%, and I'm against that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, Flood, we appreciate you calling in, man. Keep doing what you're doing out there. Thanks for supporting hip hop success, man. I'm gonna keep up with you.
Yo, give a shout out to his facility, man, so people can go sign up.
And if you out in the Virginia area, or you need a trainer that's really gonna hold you accountable, and you need to take a trip down to Virginia, talk to Deron Flood, Fitness First Services. You can find him on Facebook and IG. We'll post his tags down in the comments as well. Thanks for calling in, Flood.
Thanks, man.
All right, homie, peace.
Yeah, great perspective from Flood.
Oh,
great
yeah.
Perspective.
He runs a serious camp down there. But we got some questions from our audience. Let me see. Diana Saunders asked, what advice do you have for low-income people to explore healthier eating options?
Wow, great question.
And yeah, and I think a lot of what the issue is with low-income people having more and higher percentages of diabetes. First of it, like they addressed in there, is institutionalized racism. They put a lot of these really dirty, unsanitary facilities in areas where there's majority people of color, where those communities are. So that's one thing.
Poor people, period. Yeah.
Poor people, period. Right. Now, in terms of it's all about access. You know what I'm saying? We all want access. Now, of course, you can always grow your own food. But the thing is, it's a mentality that you have to adopt, you know, from a young age. I mean, even Coach, you know, he got a garden in the back of his house. So he's already starting. You know what I'm saying? Now, in terms of getting access and finding money so that you can go, like, I think there's this myth that purchasing produce is expensive. It's really not. It's really not. Like, meat is way more expensive than produce. I go out with my girl.
Absolutely, it is.
Leads the way. Obviously, most of the produce generally outlines the supermarkets. It always outlines the whole building. And you stay on the outside, it's usually the good food for you. And it's really cheap. Now, mind you, it might perish a lot quicker than, you know, meat and, you know, all kind of other foods. But because, like my girl always, I keep referencing my girl, you know, she's a physician, but she always breaks down, you got to eat life. You know, we are alive, you got to eat life. When you eat meat, you know, essentially you eating death. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad for you. But that myth of produce being expensive and not affordable, that is a myth. If you go in there and you actually buy a bunch of produce, plan it out for the week, I mean, you're going to spend maybe $100, maybe less than that, way less than that, 50, 40, and you'll be good for 2 weeks straight.
I think lower income families just need to search and research for healthier food that still tastes good. I think a lot of people equate eating healthy to eating a bland salad with no dressing on it. You know, it's like, oh, I got to give up everything. I can't have a burger anymore. You can. You can have a turkey burger is a little bit lighter sometimes than a greasy beef burger with bacon on it. You can tone things down. You can make sure you're getting organic meat when you do buy meat. You can shop at Trader Joe's, you know, as opposed to going to a regular grocery store. You might not want to do Whole Foods because it's a little more expensive. Trader Joe's is a great alternative. Reading what you're eating. For lower income people that go to McDonald's, you got to know what you're getting when you go to McDonald's. If they can sell you 2 burgers for $1, you got to think about that. And, you know, maybe when you go to these places, if you just can't afford or you don't have time to go grocery shopping, look at what you're eating. They got places like Tender Greens in LA that have great menus for healthy food. It's a little bit more expensive, but shout out to Purcell at Simply Wholesome in LA. He's been there since I was in kindergarten. That's been many moons. That's a lot of decades. Simply Wholesome, right on Overhill and Slauson. He's been preaching healthy diets for over 30 years. And, they're not too expensive. Of course, they're not as cheap as the McDonald's or fast food, but, you know what you're getting. You know it's organic. They tell you how many calories you're getting in each meal and what you're putting in your body. And it's just about educating each other about eating better, essentially.
Of course. And Clarence Wimberly, he chimed in. He said, low income need access to good produce. You don't see no Whole Foods in the ghetto, which is really true.
Hello.
That is absolutely true. And that's why they have what they call food deserts, where when there are low income communities without access to produce and foods that are more beneficial to our health and our bodies, that's another form of institutionalized racism. You see what I'm saying?
But Phil, they may go out of business. Maybe, I don't know. Why don't we collectively, as a community, piece up on those types of things? You know, when you go in the Asian community, the Jewish community, and of course America, which is the white community, you see these healthy Whole Foods everywhere. You see Trader Joe's in those communities. I've never been to the hood except Culver City, which is right next to a few hoods where you see like Whole Foods. But I guess we need healthier grocery stores in our neighborhoods, man, instead of so many Burger Kings and fast food joints.
I think the key, though, if you just want to boil it down, the master key for the low income folks is just education.
Hello.
That is the key.
Right.
If they're educated and conscious of what they're putting in their body, even if they got $15 to their name and they're semi-homeless, trying to get a job, trying to struggle. If you're aware of that, you may say, you know what, I'm going to go make me a smoothie, if you will. Right. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to go buy these seeds and put them in grandma's backyard and grow my food. Shout out to Hip Hop is Green. Share with the people about that movement that they're doing up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Phi. I know you know a little bit more information on that organization, but essentially it's boiling down to education, and they're getting real results.
Is that the kids that we put up their video? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We got another comment. We got Bodex. She said, you don't need Whole Foods to eat healthy. Your neighborhood grocery stores have all the things we need. Better yet, find out where the farmers markets are in your area. The idea that being healthy is bougie or for those people has to be abolished, which is very true.
Education.
That's the coach's point of education. That's coming from an educated woman. So yeah, you know, you see it a little more clearly. I just think we got to stop promoting so much BS, so if you will, in our in the hood. Like BS is cool. Drinking a 40 is cool. Eating bad is cool, and eating healthy is bougie. Come on, living long and trying to live long is not bougie. That's called being smart.
And I mean, having access, even like the kids in the schools, man, they be feeding the kids crap too that they mentioned in there, man. Like I remember there used to be like chicken nuggets, fries, and then they have a little thing of 3 bricks, little sticks of celery, and that's it. That's all you get. Oh, you might get a carrot. You might get a carrot on a good day.
But in the schools in Santa Monica, where the elite kids go, they have chefs that come in and cook for the kids. Every day there's a chef to make sure they get a balanced diet. It just depends on the economic situation a lot of times. And that's something that needs to change. We need to make eating right cool again, so to speak. And I think that's what we're doing by putting this stuff on our platform. So if you agree with us, if you feel like the kids should eat better, if you feel like the adults, we'd all live longer if we ate healthy. I mean, by watching this documentary, it equates the way we eat to cancer. And we haven't spoke about that and how many of these foods cause cancer. And it's a known fact that a lot of the food companies that produce products that have been tested and known to cause cancer also fund places like the American Cancer Association. And that's clearly a conflict of interest. And those are the types of things that we want to bring to the light. We can't push products that give our people disease. And that's where I think a documentary like this opened up my eyes to say, I need to do more research to learn what's real and what isn't, and I take in knowledge from people like my partners on Hip Hop Success and different people that call in and have insight, because I'm a sponge when it comes to good knowledge. I mean, to knowledge, and everybody should be that way. If you desire to live longer, if you don't want to be hooked up to machines at a young age, fighting for your life, like some of my close friends who have lost their lives to cancer at a young age. So I think that's why we put this on our platform, is because at the end of the day, we want to see everybody eating well, living long, and living their life's full potential. And that's why we're even discussing this.
Yeah, we can easily get our J-Bo on, right? And just talk about some random, gossip,
right,
if you will. That's 99% of the content that's being disseminated in the hip hop culture. Who slept with who took a private plane, who's got money to their ear. So if you feel that this content resonates with you at hiphopsuccess.tv, we need your help. We need your help right away. We need you to like, comment, and share this content. When we're doing these roundtables, again, pass the word, text, without us as a community, because this is what this is. This is a community-based platform. We're not a nonprofit. We're a for-profit. We're business people. But at the end of the day, it's all about empowering people. And before one of the callers had called in, my question was, have you guys had any real conversations, and I said with elders that actually have confessed to you as they got older in life and their health is going bad, that it was typically related to lifestyle choices, i.e. the food that they drunk or ate and the alcohol that they consumed? Because I have many cases and stories that I can share with you, including my own father.
Wow. My uncle,
go ahead.
My Uncle Greg, rest in peace, man. One of my favorite uncles, mentors that I looked up to, passed away from cancer. And when he was on his deathbed, one of the last things he said to my father's brother was, "Man, look what I did to myself. Look what I did to myself." And, he got overweight. They told him to change his diet. My man was the barbecue master. He was the king of the grill. He put me up on Jack Daniels. I still drink that to this day because of my Uncle Greg. And he was the chef of the family. I mean, he would go hard when it was, holiday time, but he didn't really watch his diet very well. And it became his demise later with cancer. They told him it was because of the way that he ate. And so firsthand, a buddy, a close friend of mine, Michael Lincoln, I'm not 100% sure it had to do with
diet,
but he passed away of colon cancer. And I know he and I in high school, we were some McDonald's Rangers. We were at McDonald's regularly.
Rangers.
Over time you just get wiser and you try to watch the things that you put into your body. And so, yeah, I would agree. I've talked to many people that have been on their deathbed or very close to dying and saying they changed their diet. I have a cousin that beat cancer and she's now eating the right way. And we always have conversations about it. And it's good to see people fight through it. And it's good to see stories where people use plant-based diet to beat a disease. I mean, come on, when you hear it from their mouths, like in this documentary, people saying, hey, I changed my diet and I was able to defeat cancer. And you hear these rare stories like that and people don't believe it, but it's factual. Dr. Sabi said the same thing. So, yeah, I would have to agree with you. Or yes, I have.
You've got personal testimonials from people. So clearly, going beyond the document was sharing information, but you've heard people right out of their mouths as they were struggling with their health confess and say, you know what, if I would have changed some of my lifestyle choices, i.e. diet and other things, chances are I would be healthy, I'll be vibrant, and I'll be able to spend more time with the people that I love. So again, hiphopsuccess.tv. We're so thankful for those that tune in faithfully and those that are just checking in. If this is your first time checking in, we appreciate you following the roundtable. Make sure that you check out the site, hiphopsuccess.tv. You can follow us on all social media at hiphopsuccess.tv. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. What do you guys want to add to it?
You can follow me personally at Mastafy, MASTA_PHI on all social media. Thank you for joining us. on this conversation about health and wellness, giving us your opinions. I do wish we had some more counter arguments, but we still had a lot of value extracted from people that do follow a plant-based diet or at least see the benefits of it. We plan to bring more webisodes filled with content that's full of value, because that's all we bring to our audience of the hip hop success community. And that's it for me, man. What about you, Bam? Where can they find you at?
Oh, I'm at Bambino's World on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. But make sure you check out our roundtables. We try to keep the continuity of our discussions pretty much always on a positive wavelength, so to speak. We do discuss hip hop topics and try to keep it fun on a few occasions so that it's not always such a serious topic. But as far as this one, we want you to go check out What the Health. Just check the documentary out. Give us some feedback on this post here. Write in the comments and tell us what you thought of the documentary, if you agree with the things that you heard within this webisode. And follow us, share the content, let people know about eating healthy. One thing we didn't discuss is drink lots of water. We all know that one, but I have to tell myself every day, drink more water, water. My man.
Alkaline water. I could tell you this, I'm almost 40 and I feel great. And from time to time, people tell me, hey, man, you still look like you 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I have to say that it's due to my regimen. Every single day I got certain routines. Now, I could be way more disciplined than I am in terms of my diet, but I do believe it's a balance. So that's all we're asking the people to do. It's just balance it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
man. But we want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Roundtable. We are Hip Hop Success TV. We are for profit. We, like Coach said, and we are selling our merchandise. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. They're very reasonable. Please check it out on our website. Phil, can you tell them more about where to find our merch?
Yes, you can get on our Facebook page. We set up the shop. Our hats are on there right now, selling for $55 with free shipping. We also got some new merchandise that we're going to be rolling out in the next 2 weeks. Also loading up all our original content. Our products, our hoodies, our shirts, and then we also got some wristbands that'll be coming out as well. So definitely visit. We really appreciate your patronage. We need the support. Also, please share our roundtables so that you can share this valued content with your friends, family, and people that just need to hear it. And thanks again for tuning in, y'all.
Really quickly, I just want to add in for all the business owners out there. If you want to advertise your company with hiphopsuccess.tv, now is the time. When we look at our collective data in terms of video views and all the statistics that we could share with you, we're getting probably about 30,000 video views and social media comments a month combined with all our social media platform. So right now is the time to advertise with us, because we're going to give you some real love at low rates once the platform grows into hundreds of thousands, into millions, because we believe one day it's going to do that. Obviously, those rates are going to increase. However, those that buy in now, kind of like the stock game, okay, we're going to take care of you. And remember, from the days that you supported us from day one. So again, whatever type of business that you got out there, if you're a personal trainer, if you're an attorney, if you're a chef, if you're a physician, if you're a daycare provider, DM us, inbox us. We're going to start promoting brands and companies. So I just wanted to put that out there for the people as well.
Yes, sir. Let us promote you. HipHopSuccess.tv. Thanks for joining us, y'all. Shout out to Master Five. Shout out to Coach, man. It's always a pleasure rocking with you, brothers. And this is a roundtable. You know what I'm talking about? So get with it. Pass it around. Share it right now. And we out.
Peace.